I'm going to show you how to install the ButtonWorks keypad repair kit in the Bose RC25 remote. What you need is to take the remote apart, you need a small flat screwdriver. And you're also going to need cleaning stuff. You can use Q-tips, got an old toothbrush, maybe a cleaning rag, and you need isopropyl alcohol. I like 90% or better. Isopropyl alcohol. You can use the 70%, but there's just more water in it. And you got to be more concerned about it drying or anything. So you take the battery compartment out. You have to take the batteries out. Now, to get the remote apart, we're not prying. What we want to do is we just get it in sort of sideways, like this. I'm not going in like this and prying. Get it in like that, right, in the groove, and then you just slide it up like that. And you keep going. Yep. There we go. Now I've loosened up this side. And then there's some snaps on the other side. I'm going to go over there and do the same thing. Sort of get it in between. And then just sliding it. Be careful not to slip and shove this into your thumb. So I'm kind of going out like that. There. Might have to do it a couple times. So what I did is I got where it got tight and just kind of tweaked it a little bit. That helped. There we go. Okay, and there's one here on the bottom. I'll do the same thing there. Slide it over. There we go. And there. Now I've gotten it. Okay. Now I've gotten it apart. There are no screws holding the circuit board in, but there's a couple of these battery contacts that are kind of held in some plastic slots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and I'm going to kind of start taking the circuit board out up here. Just gently pull on it. And that popped right out. And these are loose, but they don't come off. They wiggle around, but they don't come off. And you got this one over here, and just kind of gently pull it out. Now this remote has been repaired before with conductive paint. And you see it's wearing off, and it's got black flakes and stuff. That's what happens to that stuff. So if it's your first time or second time repairing it or whatever, we definitely need to clean the circuit board without isopropyl alcohol. And I have a little bottle of it. I like to wet a rag down and then run it over the board like that. There's really nothing on here you can hurt with rubbing alcohol. So if it's really gooped up, any sort of oil or buildup, you can kind of drip rubbing alcohol on there, or maybe get it wet, the Q-tip wet, and get the board wet and let it soak for a bit. In this case, with that black paint, conductive paint on there, there could be a little flake that fell off and got stuck in one of these buttons and will just sit there, causing problems. So you really got to get in close and look and make sure if the remote has been repaired with the black conductive paint and it's chipping off, make sure there's nothing in there. And you can kind of look at it in the light, reflecting off, and seeing, like right here. Let me try to get that into focus. You can kind of see it looks like there might be something crossing there. I'm not sure. So I'm going to go in and make sure that's cleaned really well. Yeah, it's still there. I think it's a defect in the board. Yep. Taking a close look, it looks like everything's pretty good. So this repair kit goes down on top of the circuit board, not on the rubber keypad. It goes on the circuit board. It's a peel and stick. You can see it's got rounded sides on one end and flat on the other, and so does the keypad. It's rounded and flat. And also, if you take the keypad out, you can take this out and wash it in the sink if it's really oily and gooey. Hot water and regular hot water and soap, maybe a toothbrush. You can get in there and clean this up. This will block future oils from getting in between the buttons and the contacts. So you won't have to worry about that after this is installed. But we've got to get it all nice and clean first. So the plastic housing has rounded on the top and flat on the bottom, so you know that goes in like that. And here we got the circuit board and the battery contacts. So the rounded part goes up here, and the flat part goes down there. So now I'm going to peel off, just pick a corner, just start picking at the brown paper liner. Peel that up like that. And then I'm going to line up, there's 4 holes to line up. And down there. And I'm just going to line it up, you know, straight, and on those 4 holes you have a little bit of wiggle room. And then I'm just going to kind of lay it down, trying to get it as flat as possible. Right, and I'm going to just go around the edge like that very lightly. And now it's stuck down. It's not going to fall off. If you push down hard on any of these, you can cup the button and short out the button. So we want it nice and flat. Okay, and then we're ready to put it back together. These break off a lot, and you'll see it's glued on there, but over time it might have broken off. If your remote has very, very poor range or doesn't work at all, it might be because the wire's broken off there, and it'd have to be resoldered back. So you might have to get it fixed for that. But anyway, let's put the remote back together. I'm just going to put it back in there, and there's the little pegs on the rubber board that are going to go through the circuit board. Kind of line it up. Okay, this one came off. It's in like a little socket that it gets pushed down in. Like that. Okay, so this long one here has to go, there's a slot. It has to go into the slot. Like that. And you can kind of look over on this side that this doesn't come out, and you can look at it. About similar. And the same up here. We're putting that. I had to push that back down in. And yeah, so you can kind of compare it to that. Okay, looks like we're all set. And you can just, okay, so some of these snaps broke. You'll see like that. I'll show you in a different clip how to deal with that. Let's put this back together. Just line it up and snap it back in. There we go. Now I have a radio signal detector. It's for detecting wireless bugs, but it'll detect any strong radio signal. Put the batteries in. And all the buttons will work great, and the oils and dirt can't get between that new repair pad, the membrane, and the circuit board, so you should never have problems again with these buttons failing. The material can't chip, flake off like the paint does. It doesn't fall off. There we go. And there you go. And you should never have problems again. Thanks.